Hi. Hi, everybody. Who's here? Just us chickens? AYB and Gen X and me. It's like the menage a trois. All right, well, it's Taco Tuesday, and I'm doing something a little different. I am in YouTube. I'm on StreamYard, obviously, but I don't have my StreamYard open right now. I mean, it is. I just can't see it. And I'm only viewing on YouTube. I want to see something. I didn't even use my intro or anything because I do it like probably a ass backwards way by just sharing screen with the video. I don't like have it saved to my StreamYard I just don't know how to do that. I'll figure it out. So happy Taco Tuesday. How is everybody? How's everybody's weather? Let's get through the important stuff. Yes, very interesting. I just have like a lot on my mind I want to talk about. Nothing like in particular. I want to talk about some TV shows. I want to talk about some current events. I want to talk about some hot topics. And then, I want to see what everybody's getting into this week. I don't know about where you live, but where I live, school's about to start. We're a couple weeks out. So getting ready for that. Hey, Taint. I may have to mute, guys. If I do, see, that's like the hard, like when you're not in StreamYard and I'm only looking through YouTube, I feel like I have a lot less control. So I don't know why I even did that. I should go back to StreamYard. Because it's me and my gal, so you never know what could happen here. I think I shared on Bartender or Gen X's panel about the Sharpie incident, which the sunscreen, as I've said before, does work very well, except she got some on the wall and on the trim, because it's on around a closet door. The trim is where I'm struggling to get it off. So I'm going to try rubbing alcohol because somebody was kind enough to message me that and said it works on like inanimate objects. Kikilani? Kikilani. Am I saying it right? So, where do I start? What should we talk about first? There's a lot of things happening. Well, let's talk about this, which I think is super important. Last night, the prequel to Games of Thrones premiered. House of Dragons, I think it's called, right? Am I saying it right? Let me look. Now, let me start by saying, I want to make sure I'm saying it the right thing. Yeah, House of Dragon. House of the Dragon, or is it House of Dragons? House of the Dragon. Okay. So I started watching it, and then I paused it. Nail polish remover will work. I'll try that too. Thank you, Heather. And how are you, my friend? Add your intro to brand video clips. Then you hit go live and click the video to show. Oh, yeah. Just like I do with the timer, I'm sure. Okay, I'll try that at the end of the live. I started to watch it, and I didn't turn it off because I wasn't liking what I saw. I just said, you know what? I want to wait to watch this because oh my God, you never watched Games of Thrones. I'm sorry. I just don't understand you people that have never watched it. But I know it's real. Like, I feel like now it's one of those series that it's very hard to get into now because you have so much to watch. Like, there is so much. And I'm just teasing when I say that. Like, I never got into Breaking Bad. And I have a girlfriend of mine that still can't wrap her head around that. I actually did watch it till about season 3 or 4. And then Jesse infuriated me so much I couldn't watch it anymore. I fell asleep during that, then woke back up when Settlement was live, or I think Kate, like I heard Kate on somebody's channel. I don't know. I fell asleep. I watched it during like earlier in the day, I think. Oh no, maybe. Yeah, it must have been earlier in the day. Sorry guys, I can't mute because both my hands are full and I'm filling up the Keurig, so I apologize. That's super annoying and I'm very sorry about it. I'm inconsiderate. I'm an inconsiderate person. See, Breaking Bad was something I couldn't get into. So anyway, but I did like the start of it, but then I said, you know what? I'm not going to watch this right now. So I'll watch it tonight. But what I did watch over the weekend, So I'm curious if anybody else that was into any of these shows was hold on, making my coffee. No, I haven't watched Better Call Saul because I didn't get into Breaking Bad. But The Sandman, oh my God, so freaking good. I know I've talked about it before and it's annoying. It is so good. I'll drop a link in a minute, guys. Sorry, I forgot to do that. But I read the book, and I read a lot of Neil Gaiman stuff, but that was so good. It's so stinking good. So I strongly suggest that. And I was watching Lock and Key, which I don't know if anybody else was into that, which was disappointing to say the least, but it was their last season. Sandman's so good, Taint. Oh my God. And if you get the book, even when you're done with the show, because there's just so much, like, it's so good. That actor, what is his name? Who is he? Tom Sturridge. Sturridge. What else was he in? He's 36. Ooh, he's not that much younger than me. He is just so good in that role. I cannot talk about it enough. All right, so let's see what else he has played in. On the Road. Sweet Bitter Skin, Velvet Buzzes. Some stuff I don't know. Okay, anyway. So it's a good one. What about Lock and Key? Does anybody have an opinion about that? That's kind of like I think a love or you hate it. I got so frustrated with that series watching it, but then the series finale, not season, series finale. Oh yeah, that's right. There is a series. I forgot about that too, Taint. And it was super rushed and disappointing to say the least, but it gives the story some closure. It apparently really went off the rails from the graphic novels. But anyway, what else is going on? So those are my Sandman is definitely my number one recommendation if you're looking for something to watch. And House of Dragons I'll watch tonight. Maybe I'll talk about it over the weekend. But and then Lock and Key, this series finale. I think it's 7 or 8 episodes. It's frustrating though, to say the least. So what else is happening on these YouTube shoots? There's always a lot of chaos. Well, that's why I end up not sleeping well, because I'm watching them at night and I'm laying in bed, and I always watch on my phone with like my earbuds because the kids always have all the TVs, or my husband when he's home. So it makes it a little bit easier for me to watch. And then I'll watch on my lunch break at work. So I definitely get caught up in it. Craziness as usual. There's so much happening around YouTube. It's like people are allowing what happens on YouTube. And I'm not talking about the stuff that affects people's real lives. That obviously is real life. If it's affecting your real life. But I still can't get, I just don't understand how, I don't know, people's words and people's positions and people's ideas and people's opinions, why it affects some so much that it really, makes them crazy. I don't know. That's just me, though. What I have been interested in, though, which I feel okay talking about, because I don't think it's it is kind of drama centered, but not I don't know. To me, it's drama on a different scale. So it's not affecting anybody really that we know. But yeah, we'll talk about what happened at UABs. That was so much fun. I've been following Masshole and the whole Chili stuff. That is fascinating. I cannot get enough of that. I think that guy is a really bad person that really preys on, he's predatory, and he preys on people in their weakest moments and then exploits it and capitalizes off of it. So I think what Masshole is doing is really, really interesting. So I've been watching it. That's okay, bartender. There is no real start time because we're just kibitzing. But last night was so much fun with the FMK. That was a lot of fun. I think everybody had a good time. You know what was so refreshing about that, bartender? Everybody was laughing and being silly. The chat was participating. People were joking. Nobody was getting their panties in a bunch. Like, oh my gosh, that's fun YouTube. So like, I remember there used to be like lives like that when it was like trivia or I don't know, I can't really think of any other topics right now that we would do, but that's fun. I mean, like, there's a time and place to talk about the important stuff, but I feel like I think I reused a coffee pod. Oh, God, I'm like so discombobulated. And because the coffee didn't look right in the cup. A time and place for seriousness and certain things that need discussion or warrant discussion and that need to be discussed. And then sometimes we just have to break it up with some good old-fashioned fuck, marry, kill. And that was fun. And I think everybody had a good time. Oh, let me drop a link in case anybody wants to come up. Got anything important to... Sorry, if you didn't hear any of that, I'm going to drop the link. Hold on, I got to remember how to copy and paste. Oh, good Lord, I can't. What is it? Two-finger tap? How do we do it? Select all. Hold on. I still can't do it. Oh. Select all, and then copy. I'm doing that thing that Gen X does and talk out loud. I'm talking you through my steps. Oh, that'll be good, bartender. Yeah, and I think like if I that's why like I had commented. I was like, maybe the panelists should pick somebody in chat and then give them 3 people because it would just made more players if somebody didn't feel comfortable coming up on panel. Okay, Keekline, now I know who you are. I didn't know who you were at first, but yes, that was hysterical. Okay, Jen's here. Hopefully it's not a widgealoot. Please don't be a widgie.
No, it's me.
Okay, good. No widges.
What is it? Who is that?
You know who it is. I don't want to say who it is. Just read the. Oh, that's right. We forgot we had. Hold on.
I think I might know.
Put your thinking cap on, Missy.
I have an idea. Okay.
So okay, here we go.
Okay.
Yeah, she was so
any idea. Had no clue.
She was so funny. Up on that panel. Hello, sorry.
Oh, I know.
I mean, everybody was funny. Everybody's having a good time. I just love hearing people laugh, and I just love hearing. You know what's so refreshing? Not listening to screaming, screaming with everybody screaming over one another. You know what I mean? So laughing and talking over one another, having fun. That I can do. I don't care about that. But
right.
Yeah. So that was fun. Thank you. Thank you, bartender, for hosting that. It really was fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. My abs are still hurting this morning.
Well, because you laugh with like all of your heart and soul.
With everything, yeah.
Yes, you really do.
Oh man, like so many times I had tears rolling down my face. Oh man, and AYB's one-liners, or I guess let's see. I think
everybody.
Yeah, everybody was great.
Prime was making me laugh. Like everybody was making me laugh. Like he had moments that he was very clever. Everybody was just, it was just nice.
Yes. Was it AYB and Prime? Like he went to say something and then she started like rapping. Like he'd say a couple words and then she's like from the window to the wall.
Yes. It was very cute. It was very cute. It was endearing.
Oh,
it was fun.
Don't make me laugh today. I'm hurt. I
know that. Was it you could do like those laugh exercise classes, like where you get laughing? Do you guys remember? There was like a time, like I remember watching Good Morning America, and there being like they were interviewing or doing one of the like exhibits that they would do. Like they would always do like these weird little campy, like, oh, we're gonna show you the new hot trend on pocketbooks or something. But anyway, they would do like a nutrition thing. I don't know. They would just do a lot of weird stuff. And I swear there was a period of time where like laugh classes were a thing. Yeah. And people were going, and like used because it was like big. This is when like endorphins were a hot topic, and
Yeah.
endorphins and their effect on people physiologically. So there was like all this talk of like, yeah, like, so you had people, think about this. You had people that were clever enough to say, you know what, I'm going to start selling laughter. Not in the sense of like comedy and things like that. They're like, you're going to come to my laughing studio. You're going to pay me. And then you're going to laugh, not because you want to, but because it's good for you. So I just think that's genius. I'm like, my God, why couldn't I think of that?
Right. Let me see. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you fine. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just checking my.
Yeah. You just got louder, but not like bad loud. It just kind of picked up a little bit. I think it's called the gain, like where it's not echoey or anything. It just sounds a little bit more pronounced.
Right. I'm trying. You know what I need to do? I need to get. I need a mic stand so I can. I'm trying to.
Oh my God! What did this child get into?
Uh-oh.
Yeah. No, I just see photos scattered on the floor from the kitchen to the
wall. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it. From the wait, now don't get that stuck in my head. I won't be able to get this song out of my head.
Oh, sorry. Ow. Oh, yeah, no.
Literally have like you have a YouTube injury, you need workman's comp. For your abdominal laughing injury from the YouTube.
Oh boy, yeah. I don't know, the last few times there. I mean, yesterday on mine it was informative.
Oh yeah, that was such yes. Oh, that's right. Yes. Oh, good. I'm glad you brought that up because when I was driving home from work, I was listening to it because I just couldn't get on like during the workday. It was just getting too crazy. So I was listening to it on my way home. I thought it was such a great panel. I thought I loved the topic and it really got my brain going. And the one thing I was thinking about, because when Shiva was on panel, you guys were talking about like British humor versus what we see in the States. And another really interesting thing is I forgot, or I just never realized, I should say, how many sitcoms were originally British and then they were kind of tweaked and changed a little bit and brought to the United States. And I think it's very interesting to look at like how the humor is changed to kind of fit what's for the US palate, you know what I mean? Versus a British palate. So, but it made me think of the show Absolutely Fabulous. That was one of my mother's favorite shows. If nobody has watched it, try to find it. Oh my God, we laughed so hard watching that.
Yes, that was one of my sister's favorites.
Oh, so good. Patsy and what was her name?
Oh, I don't remember.
Safi was the daughter, and Patsy and oh gosh, I can't think of that. And I can see their faces. So good.
I'll look for it.
I should show a clip from that because it is so funny. I'll probably get hit for it, but I don't care.
I didn't know they made a movie. Huh.
Yes, they did, but I don't think it was as well received, at least not in the United States. Maybe in the UK. Let's see.
Patsy and Edna?
Yes, Adina and Patsy.
Adina,
Adina and Patsy.
Saffron.
And Safi was the daughter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were great.
Yep. Let's see if I can find a good one, a quick one. Okay, yeah. So we'll do Patsy's best one-liners, and we'll watch it real quick because it's only a minute long. Hold on. You talk. I got to get this all. This takes me a minute, so don't not talk until I figure it out.
Yeah, or you can be a me and talk us through it. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking about that when you do that. It's so funny. I think they do that too, but okay.
Well, not only.
I'm sorry, I'm muting.
No, it's okay. Not only comedians, or TV shows, but, well, I guess it would be considered a TV show, but game shows. Was it American Idol that was originally British? And another one. There was another one. Oh, best one-liners, yeah. I'm sore. Betsy's. Okay, I don't know where. Okay, she's still muted. So, AYB has a lot.
Could you guys not? I don't understand what I did wrong. Okay, so I just want to say what I did. I hit. Okay, so sorry everybody that this is going to be annoying for a minute because I need somebody to walk me through it. So I see that my screen is shared, but maybe because I had to have everything open before I shared because it's not like it's stuck on that like list. The Google search. It's not like I actually opened a YouTube video. So I don't know what I did wrong.
What was it called? Patsy.
Hold on, let me try this again. Wait, I'm going to try this again. I'm going to go to share screen. I think I choose, instead of saying, I should have chose window, not Chrome tab. Okay, I got it now.
Okay.
Sorry, sometimes I just have to talk about it.
Yep, see?
There it is. Okay, yep. Okay, right. So I'm going to mute, and then you guys just like, it's just silly. Just listen and laugh.
Oh, you got to turn on the audio for it when you share screen.
Oh, for Christ's sakes. Okay. I see.
So
hold on.
Yeah. Okay, no problem.
Wait. No, I don't. Hold on. So I have to share audio. Sorry, people.
Yeah. So when you go to
from the StreamYard side?
Yes, from the StreamYard side, there's a little. It's on the bottom left-hand corner. It's a little square. It'll say share audio something. And then it says either window or Chrome tab, I think. So if you'd hit, I guess, Chrome tab? I don't know, because you're doing it differently. So,
okay,
but you'll see.
Hold on. Okay, I'll figure it out. Anyway, finish. I'm sorry. Don't pay attention to me right now. You guys talk about something very important and stimulating, and I will be right back.
Very important. What's important right now? Well, it's Taco Tuesday. That is always important. I gave Audie a bomb beer battered fish taco recipe that she's going to try tonight. And I believe AYB is going live this evening. Let me check, because that is also important. Yes. Is today the 24th? Nope, tomorrow. I lied. Don't listen to me. It's tomorrow. To answer all the Ask Your Bartender questions. So, other than that, nothing important.
Oh, yeah, that's tomorrow, right?
Yes.
That'll be fun. I wonder how many questions. Did you get a lot of questions, bartender?
I think the last she said it was like, 31.
Wow, that's a great participation.
Like a day or two ago, so I don't know how many she's gotten since then. Send tacos. Oh man, they're so good. And I make a jalapeno cilantro white sauce for it. And I don't like fish. I'm not a big fish person, but it's the only time I'll really eat fish is when I make these. Shellfish is another thing. I'm bougie.
I love all seafood. 32. There is not. Oh, good. 32. That's great. There's not. I mean, there really isn't almost. I don't think there's anything I wouldn't eat seafood-wise. Almost anything. I say that, but there always could be something, right? I've had a lot though. I mean, I love shellfish. I love fish. There's I don't eat tilapia. That is something I will never eat, but it's not because I don't like the taste of it. It's just because of it's like a disgusting garbage fish. And the way that we get tilapia in the States is like from Disney's, fish tanks after they clean them. It's disgusting. They use the tilapia tanks. I mean, I don't know if that's exactly true, but that's how I imagine it. So, but pretty much any other fish, like I took out the tile fish. That's like one of my favorite. It's like such a good fish to fry or to do like franchise with. That's like how my husband uses it, but I'm gonna fry it. And I love like any type of tuna, but like the way he makes it. Remember, like when he makes like poke bowls and sushi and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like too good a quality fish for me to like throw in the pan and fry. So that's why I'm gonna use the tile fish. There's something that you can get around here called a perch or like porgy, which is like a freshwater fish, and it's like really easy to catch. And people think, I think people used to think it was like a poor man's fish, but it's like you will make the best fish and chips with that fish, or like any kind of like, oh God, it's not cheap anymore because you know people catch on, just like skirt steak. Remember skirt steak? Yeah, I remember that being like nobody would eat that. They thought it was like people thought it was like quote unquote cheap. Now it's like, oh, let's make some arrachera and fancy skirt steak, you know, burrata, you know, crostinis. Made our cheap steak get expensive. Well, I mean, beef's expensive anyway right now.
Right.
Hi, Navigator.
Yeah, we do sushi, but I'm very limited on it. But my kid and her dad, I mean, they're all for all of it. Eel, calamari, all of it. Nope.
I like them all too. I'm with them. There
better for you.
Yeah. So, but I live in an area, which I'm not sure about like your area because I don't know. You'd have to tell me. Like I live in an area where we're very fortunate in accessibility. Like I live in a fishing town. So like there's a lot of access to like fresh fish and fresh shellfish, especially clams, like little neck clams and crab. Like it's very, like you could go and get it yourself on the beach if you wanted to. So I grew up with that. It wasn't like a treat for us, which it is, but it wasn't as expensive as it is now either. So like we ate lobster a lot, things like that. So I just have an appreciation for it now. Like I just love it. I can never like fish. I could eat. I was telling my husband this the other day. If the rest of my life I had the same three things to eat forever, I think I could. It would be fish tacos. Yeah. Everybody tell me what their three favorite things are. It would be fish tacos. Number one. I could eat that every day. I could eat like like this specific type of sushi roll, like a Phoenix roll. I don't know if you know what that is. I feel like most sushi places kind of have a similar menu. I could eat that every single day. And I could eat this chicken and lamb Lebanese dish over rice that's like spicy. It has like this spicy sauce, but also has like this tzatziki type sauce on it.
Yes.
Oh my God. It is amazing. I could eat those three things, breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day. Hi, Donnie. Hey, what are your favorite? What are your three favorite dishes?
Okay. Navigator says, my little love sushi. I can't do it. I'm Irish. I need my food boiled or burnt.
Navigator. My mom, we used to call my mom. I always said she made like Irish. She would make Irish lasagna. That's what we would call it. Irish like chicken. My mom was a terrible cook. We ate out a lot growing up. But my dad, he was always so gracious. And I always, because he was 1 of 10. So I think like growing up, they didn't have a lot. So they ate peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. So if my mom boiled, well, she didn't boil, but let's say she would take chicken pieces. Like this stands out to me. Chicken pieces, maybe some legs, some breasts, whatever. The pieces though, put them on a roasting pan. I'm not even sure she put salt and pepper on them, to be quite honest. And they would go in the oven and like the skin would get like, she would cook it all the way through, but and then she'd make like a Nora's pasta side or something, you know, there was never like flavor on anything. But my dad was like, he'd always like, he was so kind and he'd always just be like, this is amazing. This is delicious. Like, but she just did not like, she'd make lasagna like, well, it was like so boring. And I don't know. She just was not a good cook, but, but we ate out a lot. So I'm very lucky. We went to a lot of good restaurants and things like that, but she just was not a good cook. So then, you know, you grow up with, you know, restaurant style food, but my husband's a good cook. So I'm super lucky.
You are very lucky.
Go ahead. So what are your three favorite food dishes?
That's so hard. if I had to eat it every day, coffee. No, I'm kidding. Uh, carne asada. So I love carne asada. My husband makes the best carne asada on the planet. So carne asada tacos. My mom's fried chicken. My mom made bomb ass fried chicken. And cottage cheese and tomatoes.
Cottage cheese and tomatoes. Interesting.
Yes,
I've never had that.
yes.
I'm not a tomato person.
Yeah.
Gyros with the
cherry
lamb and
tomatoes.
tzatziki. Yeah. Oh, I like cottage cheese. I'm not like, I don't mind like a fresh tomato, like on a tomato sandwich, let's say, or once in a while I get like a hankering for like tomato cucumber salad, like the one that's with like the, that sits like and gets like kind of sweet and sour. But I don't like sauces. Like I don't like a ton of like marinara or tomato sauce, even on my pizza and stuff. I just don't like that. But I would. I mean, I do like cottage cheese. I feel like there's so much you can do with it that we don't do that we could.
Right. How about you, Three Boy Mom? What's your 3 that you can't live without? Other than authentic gyros, because authentic gyros are bomb.
I know that's there's this place by me, guys. It's called Grill 36. Actually, I probably shouldn't have said that. Now everybody's gonna be able to find out where I live. Whatever. It is. I already said it. So what could I do? But anyway, I'm sure there's a million of them in the country. It makes.
Yes.
I'm not even gonna talk about it anymore. Never mind.
Okay.
It makes amazing food. Okay, it is so good.
Mexican food. Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's interesting where like there's such a difference between like Tex-Mex, Southern California Mexican, and then like the Mexican that I have access to, or like the Mexican down at like we have in Mexico, like that part of Mexico that we're in, because it's really different geographically.
Yes. Salads, any kinds, tacos, and Chinese.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. Fair enough.
I mean, I like taco salads.
Cottage, there you go. Cottage cheese and pineapple.
Cottage cheese and pineapple.
Yep. My husband look at me like I'm crazy.
I like I'm not like a huge salad person, but I like the bad for you salads, like the Chick-fil-A crispy chicken whatever salad with the avocado lime ranch. Like I like that, or like a really good like chef salad with like the good stuff, like right, or Cobb salad, not chef salad, Cobb salad, or like with a lot of bacon, a lot of cheese.
Right.
Chinese taco salad.
So my every year, my husband and my kid, I always ask him, what do you want for dinner for your birthday? Well, my kid's birthday is coming up, and so we're doing it on Friday. And she says, I want salad bar this year. My kid is like the only kid that I know that since she was itty bitty, like all the veggies. And that's
funny. I mean, that's wonderful. That's
fourth time?
But it's funny.
Oh, it's hysterical.
Yeah.
My husband's like, do we have to do salad bar? I think this is the 4th time now. And she'll be 15. So, and other times it's because I make at home, sushi.
Yeah.
I need to send you the chicken.
Yes. Remember, he's got a master. His rolls are too big.
Yes.
His rolls are too fat. You eat one roll and you're stuffed.
Yes. It's all in how you spread out the rice. But yeah, so we do salad bar. I mean, I bust out like all the things. I go and I get everything from garbanzo beans to sprouts to mushrooms to red, everything. And then they just go down the line, pick what they want. So yeah, she's definitely a veggie eater. A lot of people think all we have is Tex-Mex. We legit have more authentic Mexican than we have Tex-Mex. Tex-Mex is just Tex-Mex. Yes. So same here in Well, they don't call it Tex-Mex here in California. We have a lot of legit Mexican restaurants here in Southern California for sure.
Yeah. But even if you go into like, let's say Baja, the food, like the style of food and the way it's prepared and the seasonings and the flavors are different than if you're like over by me and go into, let's say, Tulum or Riviera Maya, places like that. Like the style, which I love. I think that's oh gosh,
Yeah.
you could like. Does anybody like? I have. Do you guys remember Anthony Bourdain?
Yes.
Did his what was his one show called where he just traveled destination something? He would go to these like really like he would stay out of the tourist traps but travel all around the world eating the local food, talk. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I could binge watch that. I loved hearing him talk about like food, the way people lived, culture. Like he really was, to me, I think he was just such a cool person. He had some his book. If you I have it. If anybody wants it, I think I can share it on my Kindle because I have it digitally. That he wrote. What is it? I feel so stupid. I don't remember the name. That was like one of the I think the first like books I ever downloaded on a Kindle. It's so good. But just his story about his life, like
Kitchen Confidential.
He's got
a couple.
Yeah, what was the first? Wait, Kitchen Confidential. Yeah, I think that's the one because he wrote about like what it really was like in the kitchen in these like high-end restaurants and what went down and the drugs and the partying and the lifestyle and all that. Really, really interesting.
Yeah. God, he was such a cool dude. You know, it's like it's one of those shockers, you know, when they go the way they do, like Robin Williams, same thing. It's like, you never see it coming. Never ever see it coming.
You don't. And it's I feel like, you know, I remember like my mom talking about like in her days, like young people, right? Famous people, right? Like Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, like all these like people that they idolized that would die unexpectedly, right? Be it self-harm or drugs or something. And thinking like, oh, we're such an evolved people now. Like people don't do that. Like as a teenager, you know what I mean? Like not being very sheltered and unaware of the realities. And then kind of looking back and thinking, oh my gosh, some of these like amazing figures that were such a like Anthony Bourdain in the world of like culture and food that like my kids will never get. I mean, of course, thank God we can watch like TV shows and things like when they're older, but there's just certain things they'll never get to experience the same way we did. Like Robin Williams, like yes, you can watch the movies and stuff, but there's nothing new, right?
Right.
And I, you know, there's so many examples, but
well, and that's something we were talking about yesterday, where I started to get.
I'm sorry. You triggered us a squirrel moment. Go ahead.
You know, with comedians in general, you know, a lot of them had, you know, stuff in real life, you know, that wasn't so hot growing up. You know, they didn't come from a healthy background. And the way they coped was humor. You know, and it's more often than not, you talk with comedians and a lot of them have the same story to tell.
Yes,
they
very dark, very tragic, very, very sad stuff that they found their comfort and their escape in comedy. And what you know, some people may not find certain things funny where other people do, but the point is there's usually like a very sad story behind that.
Yes, absolutely. Oh gosh, there was one, it was a female that was like very open about it. I don't remember if it was Roseanne Barr. It was a long time ago, but there was a female comedian that was very open about her background or growing up, and it wasn't so hot.
Yeah, a lot of abuse and things like that. Now, I was hold on a second, after your live yesterday, which really was, I really think such like a brilliant topic because it really is true. And I think it's such a nice conversation piece to kind of talk about that stuff and remember those comedians and remember how we, you know, we kind of acted or the way we received that comedy and the way we viewed it, the way our parents viewed it. And I think it's just was such a good topic. But so Denizen in his Discord they were just talking about it was about music, I think, and some other things, and that sort of came up, and I it made me think about. Do you remember it now? I had to look this up to get the year. 1995, the movie Kids came out. Now, does anybody else remember this movie, Kids? I remember it clear as day. I watched it. I was 14 years old. I definitely don't, once again, like I said about like being in the car with your parents listening to Howard Stern or certain things like that, and that not being an issue, me watching this movie at 14 probably should have been an issue, or we probably should have at least discussed it, but it was just not. It was just like, oh, okay, you can watch it, whatever, watch it. And
yeah, no, I didn't. So,
okay, so let me tell you a little bit about it.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, in 95, by then I was pissed drunk every day. I lost like 10 years of life. So, yeah, I don't remember that. I don't.
Okay, so 95. So I was 14. Okay. So I was pretty wild. I mean, wild in the sense like I was definitely sowing my oats. Hey, Chloe. Okay, so let me just read what this was. So somebody had pointed out it wasn't like it was a very controversial movie because it was about I don't want to a day in the life of a group of teens as they travel around New York City, skating, drinking, smoking, and deflowering virgins. Okay, that's what it says. Yeah, so that's what it says in the description on IMDb.
Okay,
but I want to try to find it. It's so much. Okay. Here it is. Disturbing, dark, low-budget independent film. And the way it was shot was so low budget that it was almost masterful. You know what I mean? Like, talk about dark and grimy and real. It looked almost like a reality show, but not, because it was obviously all scripted. But, like, even the actors and actresses. Now, Rosario Dawson is in this, but she was very young at the time. But the rest of them are not really any well-known actors. They're not super good-looking. They're kind of like average teenagers of the time. So anyway, it says, disturbing, dark, low-budget independent film about teenagers in New York City. The story focuses on Telly, a teen who has a goal to deflower as many virgins as he can. When one of his old encounters discovers she is HIV positive, after only one encounter with a guy, Telly remains undaunted. Okay? Now, here's the thing. Remember the world's view on HIV and AIDS in 1995? Yes. Much different than it was now. Yeah. Also, the cast of this movie were all 14 and 15 years old. These are not 20-somethings, okay?
Right,
so it is a really edgy, sad, disturbing, like there's stuff now thinking back at it. I'm like, oh my gosh, how did I like watch this? First of all, not be completely like confused, and maybe I was mature at 14, but like how did I have questions? Like I wonder, like did I say to my mom? Like I don't know, I probably didn't. I didn't talk to my mom about something like that really, but it made me think, just that whole conversation yesterday, even though it's kind of the other end of the spectrum, certainly wasn't comedy, but just how different times are. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if a movie like that was released today, it never would have hit. They wouldn't even get anybody to produce it, never mind cut it out to be watched. But it's, if anybody needs, like if it's Rosario Dawson played, and I want to see who, because I think a few of these kids grew on to be Leo Fitzpatrick. He plays like the star. Justin Pierce, Chloe Savini. Isn't Chloe Savini like a big actress now? Sarah Henderson, Joseph Chan, Jonathan Kim, Adriana Brown, Rosario Dawson, Sajan Bhagat, Billy Valdez, some of them Jennifer Nunez. But
interesting.
I'll check anybody. I wish, if I could find a clip of it to show, I would, because it just the edginess of it. Not the edginess, but like the production quality. But I don't know if it's intentional. I mean, it's a low budget. It's advertised as a low budget, but like the ambiance, maybe like even when they're. It's wild. I really recommend, like, I don't know why somebody would want to watch it now other than me talking about it. And but it's about, HIV, AIDS, young people, what they really understood about HIV and AIDS and what it meant. So yeah, it's pretty good.
Well, so you say by today's standards, they wouldn't play a movie, such as that. Do you remember when Netflix came out with 13 Reasons Why? And
Yes.
how
But
people
that wasn't that long ago.
freaked out. Yes, I know. And we were getting notices sent digitally from my kid's school that if your student plans to watch this, we highly recommend you watch it with them. And I was like,
Oh
what
gosh.
is this?
Yeah.
I was like, what
Yeah.
is this? So I I told my kid, don't let me watch this first, right? And so I went and I watched it, and I was like, okay, I get it. And so and then I brought her, and we watched it together, and we discussed it after the fact. And she's like, Mom, I don't want to kill myself. Like, why are we even doing this? And so I had to explain that, just because she doesn't mean others don't, but I don't know, the freak out about it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I agree with protective you. Now? Are we so protective now that everything and anything can be offensive?
Well, we can go on about this we could talk about this for 10 hours, because the reality is offensive should be in the eye of the beholder, right? I may find something offensive that you don't, but that's okay, right? The problem is when you start to make people around you feel bad, or shun them, or scream at them, or berate them because they're not offended like you are. That is the problem. The problem is not allowing people that want to be offended by something be offended and move on and say, you know what, I choose to not look, watch, see, whatever, buy, whatever the case may be. It's this outrage that says, wait a second, why are you not offended? You should be offended.
Why aren't you thinking like me?
Exactly. And then it snowballs, right? Then it's, boy, what kind of person are you? Where did you grow up? How could you, and it gets crazy, right? So that is the bigger issue, I think, is be offended. Be offended by everything. Live in a bubble and watch, Nick Jr. all day. I'm sure there's something offensive on there too. And, for Christ's sakes, I remember being at work, and a woman, one of my dearest friends, her son loved SpongeBob SquarePants. Okay. Now my son was a little bit younger, so he wasn't really into the SpongeBob stuff. Like, he did when he got a little older, he watched it, but it wasn't as popular. I think he was still a little young for that. He was still watching Paw Patrol or whatever. But her son loved SpongeBob. And I remember somebody in my office, another colleague, talking about this woman behind her back. I can't believe she lets him watch that SpongeBob SquarePants. Yeah. I'm like, what? You're kidding me, right? Yeah. They thought it was offensive. They thought SpongeBob was offensive. So I'm like, good thing you don't, have kids watching it then. What do you want me to tell you?
Right. So yes, I have my own SpongeBob story. So I let my kid watch SpongeBob. She was too little to understand the. Of
course, I'd let my kid watch SpongeBob too if he asked. I would let CJ watch it today if she wanted to. I am not offended by anything that happens on SpongeBob. I will tell you right now.
I know. And so then there was a little girl. I knew the husband and wife, and so they'd have a week on, week off custody, and I still watched her every week. Well, when it was mom's week, daughter wasn't allowed to watch SpongeBob. When it was on dad's week, she was allowed to watch SpongeBob. So you can imagine the position that put me in, because my kid loved SpongeBob at the time. She also loved Bolt. So on mom weeks, her and the other they just watched Bolt over and over again all day long until the other one got picked up. It just had to be running in the background. The moment it stopped, they would tell me. They would make sure I knew that I had to start it over. So it's perception. It all comes down to perception. And hang on, let's see. Oh, no problem. Okay. So it is me, myself, and I for just a moment. So listen, my kid in my household, my kid was grown or raised to not be afraid of, things that go bump in the night. I create very realistic, creepy ass Halloween stuff. She was right next to me, helping me, and she knows it's not real. It's all in how you teach your kids what's real, what's not. Now, yes, I feel that there is a certain morality. I don't know. How would I put this?
Well, I think that like we all, again, I don't even think it comes down to morals. I think it comes down to interpretation, right? So like there may be certain things that people find morally reprehensible. Am I saying the right word? Morally reprehensible. But the point is, that's okay. You can find that it hurts your sentiments, it affects your morals, you will not stand by something. That is fine. I think morality is kind of a cheap, not a cheap, like it's like kind of like a, what am I looking for? Like it's like an easy way out, like when you don't want to justify why something bothers you because it doesn't really bother you. So you say, well, it's against my morals. Like I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Yeah,
but
that's right.
I don't think it really is against people's morals. I think it's just they just don't want to have the unpopular opinion.
Well, yes, good point.
But every household is different, right? And just because something may not be as shocking or alarming or affect your quote unquote morals doesn't mean you don't have morals.
Right. Well, and then
it's just strange. It's a strange thing. I mean, so the SpongeBob is a good example. There's other ones. Married with Children was like another one of the shows that I remember being like, some people were very like found that show now find it very disgusting because Applegate was like sexualized and she was a teenager and they sexualized her on the show and blah 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 blah. And I'm thinking, and Drew Barrymore was in Studio 54 at 10 years old, drinking. Yeah. So I mean, if that was fake, that was real. Be outraged by that. Not outraged by something fake with a script that is, whatever. I don't know. Maybe it's just
no.
But Married with Children's another one. I feel like there's a few of them out there that we would never see. I feel like now wouldn't even be something that would make it on the air. What was that show on Netflix? This wasn't that long ago.
Okay.
Remember, it had to do with like young people, okay? But I think young, like my guy's age, like maybe 12, like maybe pubescent, prepubescent, and they took it off because it was like too much. I don't know if it was like, it was involving like young kids. I'll try to Google it. It was like the most like Netflix show that was all the girls or something, or cuties. That's what it was called.
Yes.
Cuties.
I did hear about that.
So I never watched it, but I did hear about the same thing. I'm sure we all heard the same thing. I don't know if anybody here has watched it and has an opinion about it. So my understanding is the issue was, again, the sexualizing of these like really young kids. I mean, we're not talking about 17-year-olds. We're talking about like, really young kids, really young. Or that's how it was perceived. I don't know if that's the message they were trying to send, or it was just people going too far, like creating that narrative that's what that was about, when the reality was it wasn't. But I don't know, because I never watched it. But that was another big one. Netflix pulled the whole operation. I mean, could you imagine doing a whole series and not being able to show it? The money wasted.
Well, is it Lonnie? I don't know if I'm saying that right. It's still there last time I looked, they say.
Oh, it is? Cuties? Let me go see. I thought they took it down. Wait, it's a movie or a series? I thought it was a series.
I can't even tell you the last series I watched.
I know, you said, I know, because it does take time to get committed. Yeah, Cuties was removed from Netflix hubs for popular searches, more like this, coming soon, whatever. Per the surfaced internal documents, the company admitted to suppressing promotion and related search queries regarding the film. Okay, well, I guess maybe I misunderstood. No, it said the goal, has Netflix removed Cuties? The goal, according to Netflix documents, was to minimize press coverage related to the poster and avoid looking like we have removed the film page from service.
Oh,
Removing release date, whatever. This could be seen as reactionary. Netflix didn't remove cuties, but it did its best to suppress. I didn't finish the article. I didn't open it. But okay. Okay. So it wasn't removed. They just didn't promote it. Interesting.
That is very interesting. Wow.
So I know you were going to comment on Kikalani's the Halloween comment. So that's interesting about something isn't real or can hurt them, but it still can be fearful. Oh, I want to you go back to what you were going to say, because then I want to share something about that too.
Yeah, no problem. Using Halloween as the example, people can be using the Halloween. I'm still tired from yesterday. Using Halloween as the example, people can be fearful of something that isn't real or can hurt. Absolutely, they can be. And that's exactly why from the time mine was little, I showed her that, look, this is what it is. It's made of fabric. It's made of liquid latex and paint and plaster, just all these different things. So I now, don't get me wrong. You put a spider in front of me and I'm 3 states over, right? Terrified. Complete arachnophobe. Like, not even joking. But with the Halloween stuff, because there were, when she was teeny tiny, 2 and 3, when we'd go into a party store or I actually didn't even take her into like Spirit Halloween store at first, but like Party City or a costume shop, around Halloween, she would panic. She'd freak out, So when I started building all of our own props, she was there with me and she got to see that, look. And so when I did get to take her to, we went into Spirit, she was okay. I mean, there were the jump scares, right? But, I mean, even now, her and I get each other all the time. I'll be coming down the hall and she's waiting for me. I swear she's trying to give me a coronary, and she'll
the jump scares. And that's different type of scary. Like, I think scary is also like a really good example of something that's up for open to interpretation, right? Because I got scared. So last night, Holly, like I had fallen asleep and woke back up, and I never catch Holly's lives because I'm always asleep because she goes live kind of late.
Right. Yeah.
But I had fallen asleep and then I woke back up, and they were actually doing something really cool. She was streaming for so Boston, Nevermore, and I think it was, and then there was like they went to the Borden house and they're staying there.
Yeah.
Like, we're ghost hunting, but then they're staying there, which to me is like, see, that I don't like that. Like anything that involves like the afterlife or something, because to me it's like I don't want to believe any of it. I want to believe it's all manufactured, but then like I listen to people. There was this woman, Rochelle G, I forget who interviewed her, but somebody did, and like I watched some of her YouTubes and I was just like, oh my gosh, this stuff could be like, maybe it is real and I'm just choosing not to buy into it because it scares me. Like that stuff scares me.
Right.
But like Freddy Krueger doesn't necessarily scare me. Or like I love like all the post-apocalyptic zombie sort of stuff. Like that does not scare me. But like something that like other people are claiming is real, that scares me. I don't know. Like I couldn't watch it. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have nightmares tonight thinking every sound I hear is a ghost. Like,
oh, see, I love those shows.
Oh, it made me
Ghost Hunters. Ghost Hunters was my favorite show for the longest time. I was so sad when they like broke up. The band broke up, and then they came back, but I haven't watched them.
Would you do that? Like, would you go?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yep. My husband got me a recorder and everything, and I just haven't. We've got the GoPro and just.
Did you go to any place though?
Nothing. Nowhere yet. No. It's something that I've loved watching for years, though, and I would love. I would absolutely go do. Absolutely. Just because it's fascinating to me. Freddy, but The Exorcist scares me.
Yeah. Like anything about like possession or demons. Even though I really love that show, Evil. It's so good. But anything like that, because that cool thing about Evil, if anybody, I think it's on Peacock, not Peacock, maybe Peacock. I forget the network or Epic or something. But the thing about it is it's where they're trying to distinguish is something truly paranormal or is it basically, or is it explainable? You know, is it something scientific, or is it a hoax, or is it, you know, something else going on that's man-made that somebody intentionally created, or is it truly paranormal, evil, bad stuff? And oh my gosh, the stuff that goes on. I haven't finished. I've only watched a couple episodes so far, but it's on, I have it on, it's like, I think it's a free network. I thought it, or if you have like, I don't know how networks, I don't have cable anymore. So like everything to me is an app because we just put it on the smart TV.
Right. Same.
So
PBS, CBS, not PBS. It's like having a YouTube hangover. Paramount Plus or CBS.
Paramount. That's what I watched it on, was Paramount.
Dang it. Yeah,
Apple TV. Do you have Apple TV?
Yeah, I do.
It's on Apple TV too, and it's free.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, we have Apple TV.
So it's just another. You might like that. Hey, Trashy. Which show are you talking about? I got pulled away. Oh, Evil is the show on Paramount that we were talking about. But what made me bring it up was Holly Lewis in the news last night was streaming Nevermore, and Boston Koozie did like a, or currently on some sort of like a ghost hunting at the Lizzie Borden house, and they're sleeping there, which is like, that's where I draw the line. I'd be looking for the nearest hotel or in my car. I could not. Even though I might tell myself, okay, it's fake, none of this is real, I still would be so anxious about every sound. And let me tell you, Boston Koozie is a very brave woman, because it's not like she had her own room and stuff. Like she was staying, I mean, and him. I'm not saying that she's a female. Either one of them.
Yeah, isn't it the aristocrat? God.
I don't know. His little thing said Nevermore, so I just called him
Nevermore. Okay, Nevermore.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Doyle or the aristocrat. I don't know if that's the same people, but but they they had their own, and I don't know. That to me, I'd be like, I would be rolled up into the bed with whoever I was there with. I don't care who it was. I'd probably find a stranger and be like, please stay in my room with me tonight. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Right.
But if you ever do ghost hunting, you should definitely or record it and then share it with everybody.
Oh yeah. I absolutely would. I would love to. It's something that we talked about. Yeah, I mean, we were still dating back, so we're talking maybe 8 years ago, 9 years ago. We were talking about it, and then in the last 4 years or so, he got me, like the recorder and some stuff.
Yeah, that's fun.
We just haven't had time. He has a lot of hobbies, and so do I, right? I have a lot of hobbies. But with him working out of town right now, it's kind of like,
Yeah. And you want him to go with you. You don't want to just go on your own. You want it to be like a fun thing.
So I would only want him there to kill spiders. I'm not afraid of, noises and what might be, but yeah, for spiders. Yes, please be there to kill the spiders, because I'll freak out and I'll end up hurting myself. I'll run into the wall.
Yeah. Well, you're okay with demons and voices and weird things going up on the walls and your arm going numb and cold, your body temperature changing. But the spider, that's where you draw the line. I lay in a bed of spiders before doing that. I'm
telling you, I can't with spiders. I cannot.
Yeah, ooh. I think we all have that thing. I feel that way about birds and any sort of a rodent. Like a rodent, even if it's somebody's pet, like a hamster or a gerbil or whatever those people keep, guinea pigs, ferrets. Oh my God. I'm giving anything small, anything that can change its size. Okay, here's the creepiest thing about these rodents. Yes. Why are their bones why can they fit into the tiniest little areas and crevices and get places they shouldn't get? See, that's one of the things about it, I think, that's just so terrifying to me. And when I say terrifying, I'm not exaggerating, guys. Like I had a mouse in my house and I was going to burn the
Oh, I
fucker down.
remember.
Yeah, like full-blown panic. Like I had to call my ex. Okay, my husband was at sea, and I had to call this is what I resorted to, calling my son's father and he came, we'll give him credit, to come set up a mouse trap because I wouldn't even touch the mouse trap because it was giving me such anxiety. And then I told him, you need to come back tomorrow before we wake up. I will leave the key and check the mouse trap before I come back downstairs. But then my dad ended up doing it, so he didn't do it because I wouldn't even come downstairs. Like,
yes,
the thought of that fear, as silly and as irrational, and it's just like in your mind, you're like, why is this so ridiculous? But it is paralyzing. Like talking about it, my heart is racing. Right? Like you get that rush talking about it.
The adrenaline.
Yeah. But see, like, so like the rodents give me that fear. Birds give me a fear, not as bad because you can easily birds aren't coming in your bedroom at night and plucking your eyeballs out or anything. But a mouse could come in your bedroom and make a nest in your hair. I think I was traumatized. I think my mom must have told us, like, if we didn't want to brush our hair or something, that mice would come nest in our hair or something, because that's my immediate thought. Yeah. Or bird's nest or something. Yeah. That's like immediately where my head goes.
So I know
jump on you or something like that. Ooh.
So I know I know for a fact I got the fear of spiders from my mom, because she was the one who like literally jumped onto a table screaming bloody murder. So at a young age, for me, I'm like, oh, those are bad, and you better know she'd run for the Aquanet, right? Big old pink can of Aquanet and spray the
spider.
Yes,
the spider.
She Aquanet, and then it'd take her like an hour to get close enough to it to clean it up. Oh my God.
That is clever. The Aquanet, you could freeze something in place with that stuff.
Ooh, let's go, Trashy. Yes.
Yeah, so I feel like you're in an area too, Jeff, like you just happen to be somewhere where there's like, it's big, right? You have a lot of state to explore. I feel like there's a lot of stuff, like famous stuff that you could visit. I have that place near me, which I would never go. What's it called? The penitentiary that everybody visits, or it was like what was it called? And
is it a penitentiary or was it an asylum?
Maybe asylum. And they do like around Halloween, it gets real popular. They do the tours. I think it's in Pennsylvania. But yeah, that's a big people love that kind of stuff.
Was it called Penhurst?
Penhurst. Yeah, Penhurst or Penhurst. It's Penhurst.
Okay.
So, and then there's also the other one in Staten Island, which some of you Corpsey, if you've ever watched Corpsey documentary, that's on YouTube, but I think there's also some other things on it. That is in Staten Island. That is creepy. And that is based on a true story, I think. Like what happened was true. Like that. But yeah, so that's kind of fun. If you ever did that, I would definitely watch it, but I would probably be like with one eye open. One eye closed, I should say, not one eye open.
Right. I think, once the kid goes off to college and
oh God, you'll have so much more time.
Right, we'll have a lot more time. Now it's school and practices and
you're always running.
Always going, always forever going. But I absolutely would love to, like, being in Southern California, of course we have the Queen Mary down here. I'm near like Calico Ghost Town. And then if you want to go up north, there's the Winchester House. I know that there's more. There's a place. I
think the scariest place to do like a haunted tour to me, like even scarier than like the like known like horrific crime, like like Lizzie Borden's house, like that is like a whatever. To me, like those asylums and prisons and stuff is so much scarier, because if you have not watched the Geraldo Rivera, I know this is so old and but this trauma, this put me down such a rabbit hole when he went and busted That is what changed the ways. Okay, it is the 1980s. I will find the name. I'm sorry, I wasn't planning on talking about this, but when he did that documentary or that expose or whatever, that is really what steamrolled the legislators to change how we treated people, with mental health diagnosis that were institutionalized. Right. That documentary is a horror movie. Like, what is shown when he goes in with that camera and he literally just sneak attacks, so to speak, that left such a mark in my brain. Willowbrook State School. Willowbrook State School.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Oh, that was in 72. I thought it was the 80s. It was 72 when it was released. There's also another YouTube documentary called Unforgotten, which is the 25 years after the Willowbrook, case with Geraldo Rivera and stuff, which is really good if you're into that. That sent me, when I first watched that start to finish, it sent me into such a tailspin that I was like obsessively watching, researching, looking for anything on any institutions that were still operating today. It's not many in the United States, but over in Europe, especially in the UK, Ukraine, and Russia. Oh my God. It is. I don't think people realize like what has been done to these people. And the people that were institutionalized in the 70s and 80s, how it is, if they're still alive today, how it's affecting their lives, because they've never received any services. So people that could have been high functioning, healthy, contributing members of society were just basically put away and never dealt with. It's terrible.
Yeah, absolutely. And then that, was it Reagan? Correct me if I'm wrong. When they decided they were going to shut them all down, and they just opened the doors and let them out with no.
Well, that's a whole nother. That was, talk about a pandemic or an epidemic. Yeah. That in itself was a pandemic. No services, nothing. Opened the doors and said, figure it out. It was terrible.
Right.
Terrible.
When I was working, I've talked about it before, where we were building a hotel for a casino out here on an Indian reservation, right down the road, right outside of tribal land. Right down the road it's a state hospital, right? But it's voluntary. It's 100% voluntary. Like, people can walk in and walk out at any time. And a lot of them make their way to the casino. And I would see these poor folks, walking out every morning and every afternoon when I was leaving. And it would take the breath out of me sometimes, just to know that these poor people have, they could go in, and get some help, but then they're left to their own devices. And are they going to eat? Are they going to just step out into the road? That was always my biggest fear. Driving up that road or driving down that road was, are they going to step into traffic? Because
of course,
and people were, always, especially the ones leaving the casino, they were either mad because they lost their money or they were drunk. And you would see folks talking to them. I mean, it ran the gamut.
Yeah. That's interesting that it was a facility that people could come and go, even if they were voluntarily committed themselves, they still had access to come and go. Yeah. Usually that you have to stay put for a period of time, but that's kind of fascinating. There's a state, it's not open anymore. There was a state hospital near me called, it's called Ancora. It doesn't exist anymore, right? I don't even know if the building's even in place yet, but it's called Ancora. And this is like something out of a movie. Now, my dad told me this story, like when I was in nursing school and I was doing my behavioral health rotation. And obviously things were very different. Even they were different when I was in nursing school, and they're even more different today. But even then it wasn't like obviously how it had been. So in the world, like the institution world, but this hospital was in a secluded area on acres and acres and acres of land, right? So like something out of a movie. And they had, and my father was a pipe fitter, right? So, and this is when he was very young. So he tells me a story. So this was in like the 70s, late 70s, early 80s. And they used these underground tunnels to put in this, to do like the pipe work and the boiler work, whatever. They were tunnels that were built under the hospital, kind of like a sub basement or whatever.
Yeah.
But he said like the patients would get down there and like they would be like, he said it was like, it was terrifying. It was fascinating, but terrifying. And he said they would, get down there and they'd always, be naked. He said like a lot of times, like they would have this outside, like they'd be down there running around, the staff would get them, whatever. He said he didn't see like any abuse or anything like that. Of course, he would have, I'm assuming at the time, spoke up. But he said what was even creepier, and he said this was just, they had this courtyard where there was like benches and tables. And he said, like, these patients, and he said it wasn't just like one, or it never would have stood out to him. They would be like masturbating out there, like just open, like nobody was stopping them. They'd be like, they had to eat lunch. So he said when it was like their lunch break, like he was like a union, he was a union guy. They had to eat lunch in the cafe. They went into the cafeteria with the patients and sat and ate their lunch. Like he said, it was just so bizarre. He said, and he remembers like a woman being like, Blondie, and he like always tells that story. I will never forget that woman calling me Blondie from across the cafeteria, because it was terrifying. He was probably 18 years old, but he said it was just like, it was like what you see in the movies, like this, like no staff, you know what I mean? Like nothing, like not enough staff, or the staff didn't care. They were in the nurse's station or wherever smoking their cigarettes, and as long as everybody was safe and nobody was bleeding, they really didn't care. But they would get into these like the patients, and he said it was like really like, he said never forget it. And I mean, like I said, thank God things have changed, but at the same time, that change, trying to protect people, hurt people, because like you said, they just opened the doors and just said figure it out, and that created a vacuum, and there's no, and now we're still in 2022, do not have the resources and the availability to help the people that need help. So
that's right.
It's very sad. So what's on your agenda for the rest of the day, Gen X?
Today, housework. Today's housework, and kid, and bring her home, and then take her back for practice, and that's about it. Just a lot of chores today.
Yep, me too. So I'm gonna, when I wrap up, I'm gonna get back to cleaning.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Treshy says that I used to go to Calico Ghost Town. Absolutely. Yep, I did too. For field trips.
Oh, geez, a ghost town. My school did not.
Cool.
They took us to like St. Patrick's Cathedral and to the state capitol to see the diocese of whatever. We didn't get any good field trips. We went to Statue of Liberty once, I think. But
well, that's cool.
Yeah. But so I'm gonna do the same. I need to do my pre-clean, because tomorrow my house gets clean. But of course, as you can imagine, the time I've spent on here, the mess CJ has done. So I thank you so much for hanging out with me and having some good conversation. And thank you everybody in chat for hanging out, and we'll see each other soon.
Yep, absolutely. Have a good day, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Okie dokie. Thanks, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. Trashy, it's so good to see you. 3 Boy Mom, Chloe. I can't remember I can't say the other name, Kikalani. Kikalani, I want to say it right. And I know Taint was here. Kikalani. And 3 Boy Mom. I think I said that. And everybody else, if I missed anybody that popped in, I appreciate you, Heather and Navigator. So thank you guys for coming. And the next time I go live, maybe we will do something fun. I'll try to think of like maybe a fun game or something that seems to be popular and people enjoy it. Maybe we can somehow figure out how to do like virtual bingo or Family Feud. I have the app and we play it with the kids all the time, and that's kind of fun and silly. But I don't know. We'll figure it out. Have a fabulous Taco Tuesday, and I'll see everybody soon. Bye.